Well, good morning. Today is Tuesday, March 26th. Yeah, because Denise's birthday's on Thursday. But we have two birthdays. Today is Clara Bonazza, Bonazza. Clara, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Clara. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Daniel's birthday, and that's Sparkling Susan's son. So Daniel, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daniel. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you both have a great birthday. We are on our way back to the DXL store because Jim has decided that he wants to get some suspenders to hold his britches up.
Exactly.
So he doesn't have to keep pulling them up like he does. He wears a belt, but you'd never know it. Because when we went yesterday, and the guy says, what size pants do you wear? And then before Jim could answer, he said, well, what size pants do you wear where you wear them now? Because he could see that he wears them like below the belly. I always like when you see, like, not that I'm saying you're fat, Jim, but when you see really overweight men and they say, I'm still fitting in a 32 pants. Yeah, they're so far down on off of his hip bone.
Yeah, but I don't wear them that low.
No, he doesn't wear them that low, but he don't wear them where you're supposed to wear them either. And that's why you're constantly pulling them up, even with a belt.
I've always, ever since I was a kid, wore them in the same place.
He thinks.
I know.
I got to go to a dermatologist because this doesn't seem to be getting any better. It seems to be getting worse. So we're going to head on out, get that, and then get on with the day. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Well, we actually turned around and came back home. We got to the corner of the subdivision, and my glass place, Vision Institute, where I get my glasses, called and said my new glasses are in. And it's like a half a mile from where we're going. So I came home to get these glasses because they're loose. I figured that they could straighten them, and Jim had to go to the bathroom. But I am going to meet my friend Kathy for lunch, so I want to get home in time. I know I said I wasn't going to eat out, but she's working all the time, so when she called yesterday and asked to meet, I said yes. So anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, these are the ones I wanted to get. I was talked out of. And these are my new glasses. What do you think, Jim?
Just simply divine.
He said they were camo, so he can't see me now. What I like is my prescription doesn't really change that much, so I can keep wearing different shaped glasses and stuff. Not Jim. He goes in and what do you say, Jim?
I say, what does my insurance cover? He shows me, and within 30 seconds, without exaggeration, I've picked out my frames.
Not me. I tried them all on. All right, now we're on our way to get Jim his suspenders. Somebody was holding the door for me, and I didn't realize it.
My hunting suspenders.
Oh, thankfully we went and bought some new ones. Your hunting ones are like camo, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. These are really nice, but they were $40. I guess we're just not used to shopping for fine clothing, eh, Jim? But anyway, just ordinary suspenders. $40. I didn't realize that there was a young man waiting to hold the door open for me, so I didn't get there right away. But I got there soon enough when Jim said, she's not paying attention to you. He says, that's okay, I'm in no hurry. Nice young man. And then he held the other door for me too. Chivalry is not dead, right, Jim?
Not in everybody.
Some people, not everybody.
First time you've been out in 6 weeks.
Yes, the first time. I don't eat out for Lent, but my friend called and wanted to go out and eat on Holy Week, no less. So we went out to eat and we met a subscriber.
Oh my God, it was the cutest thing.
Tina Stevenson, right?
Yes,
Tina Stevenson.
And her husband, Dennis.
Yes, they came over. Well, she came over, but I did meet her husband too. She didn't want to be on film. I tell you, I always ask people before we put them on there, but she knew Kathy too.
So funny.
It was so nice. So thank you. If you see me out and about like I'm a living creature in the universe, I'll escape from the zoo, Stop by and say hi. I won't put you on if you don't want to be on there. She has no choice.
That's not true.
She has no choice.
Thank you, Tina.
And he's very meticulous.
I guess. Well, not the first robin of spring, but it's one of the many robins that have been showing up at my feeder lately. But this one's not as big as some of the other ones. This one's just starting to get food. No, I got some woodpeckers on that one. That one's going to die on me, that feeder there. It's just hanging by a thread, but Jim fixed it for me the other day. Well, I'm home from all my running around today. Jim's not handling retirement very easily because he thinks we have to be doing something every single day. I got back from having lunch with Kathy. I thank Tina. It was so nice seeing you. I met a subscriber. She said I could mention her name, Tina Stevenson, and her husband Dennis. Saw them at Knapp City Garage in New Baltimore. A couple days ago, I was answering comments from one of my subscribers. I'm sorry, but I can't remember which one. And she had said, I'm surprised. She said, when you were talking about your weather, I couldn't believe. I kept thinking, well, I have the same weather, and I live in Michigan. And then I realized we live close. Yes, we do. She lives a couple towns over from me. So I said, well, I'm surprised you don't see me out and about living amongst the wild. I am living in the wild. And she said, and I said, if you ever see me, you come up and say hello. And so I was sitting there. We had just finished eating our lunch. I know I said I wasn't going to go out to lunch for a Lent. But Kathy works a lot of hours, and she called me yesterday, and she wanted to meet for lunch. And she is my best friend in all of the world, the whole world. She's my best friend. And so I said, yes, I'm going to go out to eat with you. I think I did really well. I could have done better. I was watching Edie today, and she said she didn't do real well for Lent. This has really been my worst Lent in a lot of years. Although I did stick to my guns about going out to eat, but not so much today, and Holy Week of all things. But anyway, I had a very enjoyable time. We had finished eating, and I'll have to tell you something about what happened when we were eating. I don't know if Tina was there. Were you there when that happened, Tina? You probably weren't. But so we were just finishing up. We got the bill. I was just paying for our lunch, and I had paid for Kathy's lunch because we never get each other anything for Easter. She always gives me something for my birthday, and I get her something for her birthday, and we always do Christmas, and that's about it. And she always gives me some flowers on my anniversary. But, and I always joke with her because she had corn as her chosen vegetable. I mean, it's her wedding. She can have what she wants. But to me, corn is not a vegetable that you have at a wedding. But that's just me. I know that's just me. But, so I always make fun of her. But anyway, she had bought me an Easter bunny that I can eat at on Easter Sunday. And I was looking at the ingredients on the back. It's got 3 grams of protein. So I'm going to have some protein on Easter Sunday. But anyway, she got me that and flowers. And so when the bill came, I said, I'm just going to pay for your lunch, Kathy. So I paid for her lunch. And then I said, Happy Easter. You're not going to get one up on me. So we paid for her thing. Well, we're just getting ready to leave. And somebody comes up and she says, excuse me, but are you Life with Sandy? And I looked at her and I go, yes, I am. And so she says, oh, yeah, I thought so. I told my husband I thought it was you. And then she pointed to her husband and I waved to her husband. He waved back at me. And I really thought it was a subscriber that had just said that they live close. And so I said, oh, I think I just talked to you on my channel. Do you live around here? And she says, oh, no, I don't. She doesn't live close. But she was on this side of town. And it was just circumstance that we were together at the same restaurant at the same time. So, Tina, I'm so glad you came over to my table. I asked her if she wanted to be on my video, and she went, no, she didn't want to be on my video. Kathy has no choice. Kathy's going to be on my video anyhow. So she said she watches me all the time. She watches me every day. And then she says, and I know you too. You're Kathy. You're the elusive Kathy. Kathy just started to laugh. So we were going out. She said, she must watch you a lot. And I go, Kathy, think about it. You're only on my video when we go out to eat, which is only once every 6 or 7 weeks. So what are the chances that she would remember you as the elusive Kathy, unless she watches me all the time? I know you watch me, Tina. I knew that. I knew you wouldn't lie to me. I knew that. But it was so nice. It was so nice to see a subscriber. Like I said, if you ever see me out and about in the wild, I've escaped from the zoo, and you need to come and say hello. And so thank you, Tina. I really appreciate you coming over to say hello. And so then anyway, when I was there, and I don't know if you saw this, I don't know if Tina saw this, but I had ordered fish and chips. And I'm really odd. I dip my French fries in the tartar sauce, and I put ketchup on my fish. I know. It should be the other way around, probably. Probably not even that. You're supposed to put, you're supposed to put tartar sauce on the fish and ketchup on the fries. I don't like ketchup on my fries. If anything, I'm going to dip my fries in mayonnaise, mustard, or sometimes ranch dressing, sometimes sour cream. Never ketchup, which I know is what normal people do. Once again, I said, if you see me out in the wild, I'm not eating like a normal person. So anyway, I was eating it. So I went to get the ketchup, and I always shake it first. That's how you shake ketchup. And I shook the ketchup, and when I popped the lid off to, like to squirt the ketchup on, it exploded, and it sounded like a firecracker going off. Everybody, all the tables around us, looked, and it burst, and ketchup went everywhere. But it really wasn't ketchup, because the ketchup was bad. Excuse me. It looked like somebody had mixed ketchup and mayonnaise together in the same bottle. Maybe they did, I don't know. But it went over everything, but not our food. It went all over the table, all over the menus. I got some in front of my shirt. It was everywhere. But it was such a loud explosion, and even everybody was taken aback by it. And I thought, oh my gosh, did the waitress come running over? I know the server. I'm going to always call them a waitress. I don't mean any offense by it, but she come running over, and she says, oh my gosh, what happened? And I said, all I did was pop the lid on the ketchup, and it exploded. And so she, was very apologetic, and she helped me clean up everything and brought us a new ketchup. And I was kind of leery popping the lid off the new ketchup. But I did. So I did that. And then when I got home, Jim wanted to go get some suspenders. Jim doesn't wear his pants around his waist like he's supposed to, because even when I mentioned this in the car or the truck. I always call it a car. I know it's a truck. I just used to say in the car. But he could see how low he was wearing his jeans, and that's where he says, is that where you normally wear your pants? Because Jim doesn't, because his belly is so big. It's just, it scares me because his belly is so big. It's not good to have so much weight. It's not good to have a lot of weight anyhow, but especially on your abdomen. But, so he said he wanted to get suspenders because he's always pulling his pants up even with a belt. So I thought that was a good idea. So when we started driving, then I got the phone call that my glasses had come in. So these are the glasses I ended up getting. They're a little bigger than I remember, because I think this is the new style, a bigger glass. But I showed you the picture of the blue ones. I am determined to still get those blue ones. I really like those blue ones. I'd like your opinion. I'm going to get them no matter what. But, I'm going to see how people react to them. I thought, not to brag, but I thought they looked pretty darn good on me. I really did. I didn't think they were that bad. And it was different girls out there. I probably should have asked her what she thought, because the other one was kind of snooty, if you ask me. I don't know. She seemed a little snooty. But anyway, so we got the glasses, then we went and got the suspenders, and then we came home. And I watched YouTube videos. I watched Suzanne, The Unexpected Sage. I watched her. I watched Valerie Reese, although she's on her cruise right now. I'm a little jealous. And then who else did I watch? I watched Danielle Nicole doing her spring cleaning and her intermittent fasting, because she's left Weight Watchers and she's doing intermediate fasting. Oh, well, I know I watched someone else. Terry Weeks. I always watch Terry. I watch Terry every day. So I watched those videos. And then Jim went to get his hair cut. I think you heard me talking to him when I was filming my robin. I love watching my birds. But he left at 3:15 to go get his hair cut. I can't say 3:15 around my grandchildren, because they don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I have to say 3:15 or 3:45 or 3:55, because they're all digital. They don't know quarter after, half past, any of that stuff. So anyway, he left about 3:15, and it was 5:30, and he still wasn't home. And I'm thinking, he doesn't have that much hair on his head. They cut each hair individually. But he said no, it was crowded in the barbershop. He has a particular barbershop that he likes to go to. That's only 5 minutes from the house. Thus my concern that he was gone for over 2 hours just to get a haircut. But he looks nice now. He's all set for the wedding on Friday. And then, what else was I going to say? Oh, my bird feed. The one bird feeder was kind of hanging on. When I went to put the food, I usually give them seed, but it falls to the ground, and then it turns to this ugly grass, and we have stones underneath, so that grows in between the stones, and so it's hard to pull out. So I just found putting the piece of soot, S-U-E-T, however you say that, into I don't know if you can see them. into the feeders works better for me. It lasts longer too, and the birds don't seem to mind. They get a little bit more nutrition with it. But when I was putting it in, I pushed too hard down on it, and the one rope fell. And to fix it was kind of hard, and so Jim tried to fix it for me rather than go buy a new feeder. And so it kind of just hangs there. So I was kind of worried about when some of the bigger birds came. So far, my bully birds, I've had only one bully bird. I know a bully bird to me is one of those big blackbirds. They're almost like a crow, but they're not a crow. I know they got a name. Some of them have red tip wings. Some of them have a yellow head. But they're just big birds, and they scare the little birds away. I don't mind the big woodpeckers because I get a lot of woodpeckers around here. They don't bother the little birds, the little sparrows and little brown birds and stuff like that. They don't bother them. And even I've had some big honking robins come around here lately. I mean, they're huge. They must be pregnant. They're that big. They really are that big. But the one I filmed today was one of the puny ones. He was a puny one. But I just love sitting in the chair and just watching them. It just makes my day. It really just makes my day. I love it. And my book is now in the annoying stage. It's annoying me. I am only on page, let me see what page I'm on. 150. I think I told you yesterday I forget what page I was on yesterday. I think I was on 80 or something like that. This chapter that I'm on, I told you I like to finish a chapter before I go to bed. I usually read like a chapter or two before I go to bed. But this chapter is 60 pages long for one chapter. Okay, that's entirely too long. They could have broke that down into different themes for that chapter. And I kept trying to read it, but I was nodding off. And so finally I went to bed before I finished the chapter. And I don't like that because then I got to read a couple paragraphs previous to refresh my memory where I was left off at. And it's getting a little bit confusing for me. Maybe it's because I can't finish a chapter. Maybe it's just because I'm just letting my mind think it's confusing for me. But now I really have to place the characters. And usually I don't have to do that. But with this book, I do. I still like the book. I know it sounds like I don't, but I still like the book. I would tell you that it's okay to read if you want to read it. It's not one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not one that I'm not going to finish. I've had books that I'm not going to finish. This is not one of those books. I will finish this book. And then, what else? Oh, Mary's in the hospital again. The girl can't catch a break. She just can't catch a break. Mary called me yesterday, and she says, I just called Christy. She's on her way over to get me. So I'm going to take a shower before I go, because last time she was there, the showers weren't working on the floor she was on. And so therefore she was there like 9 days and she never got a shower the whole 9 days. I can't imagine going 1 day without taking a shower, let alone 9 days without a shower. But so she went in because she was having a hard time breathing again. And she was having a hard time walking again. So Don doesn't drive, her husband doesn't drive. And he's got vision things or something that he can't see. He doesn't pass a driver's test. So he can't drive. He can't get a driver's license. And Mary shouldn't be driving. So Christy lives close. Christy lives like within 5 minutes from the house. And so I told Christy, I said, I'll go get her. And Christy said, no, I'm closer. I'll bring her. And then when Christy was sitting in the waiting room all night in the house, she says, I should have took you up on your offer. I said, I would have tagged you and let you go. And she said, no, that's okay. So she stayed with her. But the fact that she's taking so many diuretics because she keeps accumulating fluid, she has the problem with she's not retaining enough sodium as far as the sodium in her system, because her sodium level is always low in her system. But when she eats food with sodium, it makes her retain water. And so when she retains water, then they give her a diuretic. And when she takes the diuretic, it drains her body from all of the, what do you call it? I'm trying to think what the word is that she's missing. Oh, I know what it is, too. I can't think of what it is. Oh, my gosh. What is it? I can't think of what it is now. It's going to drive me crazy. You know it is. Because it's an important thing that your body needs. I'm going to look it up. I'll be right back. I would have never remembered it. I had to look it up from the text that she sent. Magnesium level. Her magnesium level is very low because of taking the diuretics. It draws on your magnesium level. So when they did her tests for her numbers for her blood work, her magnesium level was at a 0.8. And normal is 1.3 to 1.9. So she was way under on that. Her hemoglobin was at 10.4. And the normal for that is between 13.5 and 17.5. And her platelets were at 60,000 and normal should be 150,000. And she had fluid in her lungs, but they didn't know if it was because she had a backup of fluid or if it was fluid around her heart or if she had pneumonia. So when she first went in, they were giving her magnesium to kind of increase her magnesium level. But then they thought that she might have pneumonia, so they took her off the magnesium, and then they put her on an antibiotic. So then when they took her blood this morning, instead of it being a 0.8, it was down to a 0.4. And her hemoglobin, instead of being a 10.4, was at a 6.2. And her platelets, instead of being at 60,000, were at 35,000. So they took her back off of the antibiotic and put the magnesium thing back on her. And they took her for an ultrasound from her and a CAT scan. They did more blood work. They did an x-ray of her chest to see if it is pneumonia or fluid on her lungs. I think they're going to drain the fluid, but they're going to test it this time. I think they tested it last time, but I think they're going to test it again. And she's just... Denise went and saw her and talked to her for a little bit. When she was talking to her, she was trying to readjust her in the bed, and she said that Mary was in a lot of pain just trying to readjust. She couldn't readjust. She was too weak to even readjust herself in the bed. So then the doctor came in, and Mary was talking to the doctors, and she said, my family doesn't seem to think I should go on the cruise that we're going on, our family cruise. And he says, when's your family going on a cruise? And she said, in a couple weeks here, we're going to Alaska. And Denise said his face just kind of dropped, and he said, and you're planning on going? And she said, well, yeah, it's not for another 5 weeks. And he said, you're going to be in another country. And she said, no, I'm going to Alaska. He says, I realize it's in the United States, but it's basically in another country because it's north of Canada. And it's on the other side of the world, as far as you're concerned. He said, I wouldn't recommend you going. He said, but, you need to talk to your regular doctor about that. And so he looked at Denise and he said, you're going on the cruise? And Denise says, well, I'm going on the cruise, but I don't think she should be going on the cruise. She says, I'm one of the people thinking that she's not going to have an enjoyable time because she's going to be in her room sleeping all the time. Why do you want to spend all that money just to sleep in the room? And she has a hard time walking, so she's going to have a hard time getting around the ship. And what if something happens when we're at sea? Because they only have I don't think they have a full-blooded hospital on the ship. I don't know, but maybe they just have maybe a sick bay or something. And then they'd have to worry about getting her. So she says, I personally don't think she should go. And so then the doctor says, well, I'm kind of in agreement with your sister, but I'm not your primary doctor. You need to talk to your primary doctor. And so Mary says, well, I think I will. And she said, because I think I'm going to have to get another note because I'm supposed to go back to work on Tuesday. And he looked at her and he said, you're still working? And she said, yeah, I'm a legal secretary. And you're still working as a legal secretary? Because Mary's kind of scatterbrained now due to the medications and due to her illness and everything. And she says, well, yeah. And he says, well, I can understand if you're holding off because you want to get a full pension. He said, when are you planning on retiring? And she said, in July. Well, in July, Mary will be 66 and a half, which is what I think she has to be to get her full retirement from Social Security, to get her full pay. I'm trying to convince her to go on a medical retirement because I think she'd get more money, first of all, because I was told when I had my knee replacement surgery, well after I had my knee replacement surgery, that I would have qualified for a medical retirement. Well, I retired 2 years after I had my knees. Nothing to do with my knees. It was just because I got fed up with my boss. And that was a whole nother story. But I could be getting probably $400 or $500 more a month if I would have took a medical retirement. And I'm thinking, that's what I should have done. And so then I'm trying to tell Mary that's what she should do. And then I told her too, because she lives in a very small house. It's a 2-bedroom house. I think her whole house, not that I'm bragging my house is bigger. I mean, I don't mean it to sound like that. But she lives in a think it's like a 900 square foot house. It's a very small house. She has a lot of furniture. She doesn't have a lot of room to walk. And with a walker and that, it's just a little bit more difficult. And Dad has his own medical issues. And so he's not able to fully take care of her like she should be taken care of. So even Christy, when she talked to her, she said, you need to go stay with my mom, because my mom said you could stay with her. So before she left for the hospital, she packed a bag with the full intention of when she leaves the hospital, she's going to come and stay with me for a few weeks to get her strength back. Because she definitely needs someone to take care of her, because she was just in the hospital less than a month ago. And she's not recovering as quickly as she should. Not to say that I'm like some kind of great nurse or something like that, but I have a little bit more room for her to walk around. It's a little safer for her. I have a walk-in shower where she's got to step into a tub. And it's just all around more convenient for her to be here. She can get around a little bit more. And her and Jim get along really well. And it's just, I think that it's the best thing for her. And if anything, when the weather gets nicer, she'll be able to sit outside a lot easier than at her house. She's got to go down steps to get to her yard or to get to her front porch. So I just think it would be better for her all the way around. So we'll see what she's going to do. But I feel bad that she's not going to go. But I'd feel worse if she went and something happened to her. But then I'll feel worse if I'm in a way and something happens to her. It's just, so if you could say some really hard prayers. I know, once again, for my sister-in-law, Barb, she really could use your prayers too. So if you could pray for my family, I would appreciate it. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to going, but not without Mary. I'm going to miss Mary. But if anybody's flown lately, I have a couple questions. First question is, are there jacks on the phone in your seats that you can charge your like phones and iPads and stuff like that? Or am I in a delusion thinking? I have not flown since 2005. So I know lots of things have changed since 2005. I think the seat's going to be small. I know that. We have Economy Plus. Yeah, because I think there's first class, Economy Plus, Business. No, we have Business Plus or Economy Plus. Because I know Business was below us and then Coach. Mary's tickets were for Coach, and we put for the Plus. Not that I would have loved to fly in first class. Oh, but that was like that was a big jump. And I thought, no, I can't spend that much money just to fly first class. But I'm just kind of curious if there's like devices where you can charge your phone. My other question is, I read somewhere, and I don't know how true this is, that you can bring an empty water bottle past security, but once you get past security, you can go to a drinking fountain and fill the water bottle up and bring it on the plane. Because I do drink a lot of water, and I don't want to get dehydrated when I'm on the plane, because I know it's a little bit different. And so I'm wondering if that's true, if anybody's flown lately, if you can do that. Jim wants to know if you can bring your own snacks on the plane. I don't care about eating on the plane. That doesn't bother me. And then what else did I want to know about the plane? Is it easier to store your stuff under your seat, or does that take away from your feet, like your foot space? Or better to put them in the overhead, because like, what if you wanted to, I don't want to be the pain in the ass person that's getting up to get stuff out of the overhead all the time. If I can just reach down and get something from under my seat, because I'd like to bring my iPad and a book and things like that. I'd rather just, if it's more convenient to put it, like I said, I haven't flown since 2005. We'll see. But I did see the meme about flying, like for Boeing, when one door closes, another one opens. Let's hope that doesn't happen on my plane. I don't want that to happen. And we're flying a Boeing plane, so hopefully they got everything all lined up and fixed by then. But you know what? If that's the way I'm going to go, that's the way I'm going to go. And it's not the way I want to go. I don't really want to go that way, but it's just what's the joke Jim always says? I'd like to go. How did he put that? I'd like to go in my sleep. I want to die like my grandfather in his sleep, not screaming and yelling like all the passengers in the car with him. Something like that. It's a joke he always tells. You think I'd know it by now. I've heard it a million times. I hear it all the time. I don't want to go. Well, my grandfather was driving, but he was asleep at the wheel, and he wasn't screaming and yelling at it to his death like everyone else. Something like that. Anywho, so anyway, if you could pray for my sister and my sister-in-law Barb, I'd appreciate it. I have a picture of Mary, but I'm not going to put it on Facebook or on the video because it's an awful picture of her. But my brother went to see her, and she was out. He thought when he walked in the room, he said she looked like she was dead. He says, I was so... Well, first of all, she gave us the wrong room number. So when Mike went to see her, he went in the wrong room, and it wasn't her room. So the people in the room were going, who the hell are you coming in my room? She got the numbers transposed because she was in 679, but she told everybody she was in 697. Makes a difference. And then he was there for half an hour, and she slept the whole time. She didn't know he was there. He was there. She fell asleep holding her phone up to her ear. So whoever she was talking to at the time hopefully just hung up. But he pushed on her foot, and he called to her to tell her he was there. He talked on the phone a couple times because he got a couple phone calls. Molly got a couple bings, and she said she didn't wake up the whole time. So they left a note to let her know that they had stayed. But Denise said she was awake but kind of groggy when she was there. And then Christy was going, just before I started my video, she was on her way over there. So I'll talk to Christy tonight to see how she was doing, how she thought she was doing. But that's it. So we'll see what Jim plans for tomorrow. Jim cannot sit in that chair all day long. He doesn't read. He watches just TV all the time. He needs to get up and move, and I'm going to try to get him going on the walks with me every day. He uses the excuse that the doctor said he can't be out in the cold if it's less than 40 degrees. Okay, it's been nice. We're supposed to get a really bad, you never know it now, but we're supposed to get really bad storms like within the next hour and a half. They're supposed to have a storm thing, like a thunderstorm thing come through, but it's supposed to be pretty fast. So we'll see if it does look like it's going to hit us because they showed the whole state going all the way across, the storm going all the way across the state. So I think we are going to get it, but we'll see. And that's going to do it, I guess. So like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will talk again with you guys tomorrow. If you see me out and about, say hi. I'd love to hear from you.